Look, I'm going to be real with you. There was a stretch of my life where I couldn't trust myself to follow through on anything. I'd set a goal on Monday, ride that motivation high for about 48 hours, and by Wednesday afternoon I was right back to square one. Eating garbage, skipping the workout, scrolling my phone at 1 a.m. Sound familiar? Here's what I didn't understand back then. Motivation is a liar. It shows up when things are easy and vanishes the moment things get hard. Discipline, real Stoic discipline, is what stays when motivation walks out the door. And once I started living by these 7 rules, everything shifted. Not overnight, but permanently. Let's get into it. Epictetus broke this down almost 2,000 years ago, and it still hits harder than anything. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. That's it. That's the entire game. Most people burn half their mental energy worrying about things they can't change. What their boss thinks, whether the economy's tanking, if someone's talking behind their back. Meanwhile, the things they can control, their effort, their response, their next decision, get ignored. Here's a modern example that's probably happened to you. You send an email at work, someone replies with something passive-aggressive and CCs your manager. Your brain immediately spirals. Are they trying to make me look bad? Should I defend myself? What does my boss think now? The Stoic approach. You can't control that person's pettiness. You can control your response. Reply professionally. Address the actual issue. Don't take the bait. That's discipline. Not the flashy kind. The kind that actually works. Marcus Aurelius had this line in Meditations that I think about almost every morning. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive. Now I know that sounds like something on a coffee mug, but here's why it matters practically. If you wake up and immediately grab your phone, you're starting your day reacting to the world. Emails, notifications, other people's emergencies. You're already behind. Discipline means taking the first hour for yourself. Not scrolling, not answering anyone. Just you, your thoughts, and whatever grounds you. A walk, a workout, journaling, sitting in silence. The Stoics called this the morning meditation, and it's not spiritual fluff. It's strategic. You're setting the tone before the world gets a chance to set it for you. I started doing this about 3 years ago after one particularly bad Monday where I woke up to an angry client email before I'd even brushed my teeth. My whole day was shot before 7 a.m. Never again. Now, rules 1 and 2 are about your environment and your morning. But the next 2, these are the ones most people skip, and it's exactly why they stay stuck. Seneca didn't have a smartphone, but he absolutely understood procrastination. He wrote that we waste so much life just delaying. While we are postponing, life speeds by. There's a concept the Stoics drilled into their students that modern psychology now confirms. The thing you're dreading is almost never as bad as the dread itself. The anticipation hurts more than the action. Here's how this plays out in real life. You've got a difficult conversation you need to have, or a project you've been putting off because it's complex and uncomfortable. Every day you don't do it, it takes up mental real estate. You're paying rent on something you haven't even started. Discipline means attacking that thing first. Before lunch. Before you check Slack. Before your brain has time to manufacture excuses. Get the hard thing done, and the rest of your day feels lighter. Get it done every day for a year, and you become genuinely unstoppable. Most people structure their entire lives around avoiding discomfort. Comfortable job, comfortable routines, comfortable conversations that never challenge anything. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Seneca practiced something called voluntary discomfort. He'd intentionally go without luxuries, sleep on the floor occasionally, eat plain food. Not because he was miserable, but because he understood something most of us miss. If you only feel okay when conditions are perfect, you're fragile. One bad week and you break. I'm not saying go sleep on the floor, but ask yourself honestly, when's the last time you did something that genuinely made you uncomfortable? A hard workout when you didn't feel like it. A conversation you were dreading. Saying no to something that felt easier to say yes to. Every time you choose discomfort over convenience, you're building a version of yourself that can't be broken by circumstances. That's the whole point. Let me pause here because if you're still with me, I want to acknowledge something. These rules are simple, but they're not easy. If they were, everyone would be disciplined. The next 3 rules are the ones that lock everything in, especially rule number 7. Ryan Holiday talks about this a lot, and it traces back to the core of Stoic thinking. Integrity starts with yourself before it ever reaches other people. When you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 6 and then hit snooze, you're not just sleeping in. You're teaching your brain that your promises to yourself don't matter. Do that enough times and you stop trusting yourself. And a person who doesn't trust themselves will never be disciplined. Flip it around. Every time you say you'll do something and actually do it, you're depositing into a self-trust account. The balance builds. Eventually, you become the kind of person who knows they'll follow through because you've proven it to yourself thousands of times. Start small. Pick one thing you'll do tomorrow and write it down tonight. Then do it. No exceptions. That's how self-trust is built, one kept promise at a time. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that's basically the Stoic version of a mic drop. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Here's a scenario every guy watching this has probably lived. Someone disrespects you. At work, in a relationship, some random comment that gets under your skin. Your first instinct is to fire back. Defend yourself. Escalate. Stoic discipline means inserting a pause between the stimulus and your response. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust and wrote about it through a Stoic lens, called this the last of human freedoms. The ability to choose your response to any situation. That pause, even 3 seconds, is where discipline lives. It's saying, I feel the anger, but I'm not going to let it drive. I'm not a puppet to my emotions. I'm the one holding the remote control. Every rule so far has been about what you do. But there's one more, and honestly, it's the one that makes all the others possible. Aristotle said it before the Stoics, but the Stoics lived it. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This is the rule that ties everything together. Discipline isn't about being perfect on Tuesday. It's about showing up on Wednesday when Tuesday was a disaster. It's about the 47th workout, not the first one. The 1000th time you choose the hard thing over the easy thing. No one becomes disciplined in a week. But here's what's wild. You also don't notice the change while it's happening. You just wake up one day and realize you're different. Things that used to feel impossible now feel normal. Situations that used to break you now barely register. That's the Stoic promise. Not that life gets easier, but that you get stronger. And the only way there is through repetition. Day after day, rule after rule. Until discipline isn't something you do, it's something you are. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. And I want to leave you with this. Pick one of these 7 rules and start there. Not all 7, just one. The one that hit closest to home. Practice it for a week, then come back and grab another. If this resonated, drop a comment. I read every single one, and honestly, your stories are what keep me making these videos. Subscribe if you want more of this. And as always, love and respect.